What's up YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close and we are now 191 subs away from hitting 500 subs. Guys, we are getting so close to reaching the mark of 500. I know we can do it. Let's see if we can get to 500 subs by the end of the year. Is it possible? Only one way to find out. But as I have said in previous videos, if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because practically 100% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys are not even subscribed. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this. Which championship change were you guys most happy to have seen at WrestleMania? Let me know down in the comments below. Excuse me. And speaking of title changes, this week's episode we are going to be taking a dive into main event Jey Uso and his potential first challenger for the World Heavyweight Championship. Obviously, we know that John Cena will be defending the WWE title against Randy Orton at Backlash in St. Louis, and of course, too, we could have always called it the Undisputed Universal Championship. However, we found out as of last week. Okay, think about this. As of last week, we found out that WWE has officially retired the Universal Championship, which we will be taking a dive into the title and its history and why it was a fumble from the very beginning. We will take a dive into that at a later time, but I think as far as John Cena's reign goes, I'm gonna wait until after Backlash to find out, because we have several new champions that I'll be discussing, that I'll be talking about in the coming weeks of WWE's Biggest Issue, including a brand new Heritage Cup champion in the form of Noam Dar, new NXT tag team champions, obviously being Hank and Tank, Sol Ruka being the new NXT Women's North American Champion. I would say I would dive into the women's tag team titles, but there's like really no point, honestly, because Liv and Raquel had just regained the titles the night after WrestleMania, so it like makes no sense at all, honestly. New Day and her reign, and not her reign, and their reign as World Tag Team Champions. Zelina Vega and the women's United States title. Jacob Fatu and the men's US title. Dirty Dom and the Intercontinental Championship, if you can believe it. And then of course too, the aforementioned John Cena and the WWE title. So all those I will be talking about in the coming weeks here on the channel. But here's the crazy thing, right? You've got right now probably one of the best rosters, on Raw in a very, very long time. Think about this, right? You've got AJ Styles, you've got Akira Tozawa, Austin Theory, Braun Breaker. I would say Bronson Reed, but unfortunately he's been out with an injury thanks to what happened inside War Games back in November. We found out that he's supposed to be out for about another year, actually. So that's gonna be crazy. That's kind of crazy. Let's see here. There's Brutus Creed, Carlito, Chad Gable, CM Punk, Cruz del Toro, obviously Dirty Dom, the Intercontinental Champion, Dragon Lee, Dragon Lee, the WWE Speed Champion, Finn Balor, Grayson Waller. I would say Gunther, but unfortunately, after what happened last week on the Raw after WrestleMania, we found out that Gunther has been indefinitely suspended for not only attacking the commentator Michael Cole, but also for attacking Pat McAfee by choking him out. And we found out that tonight on Raw, Pat McAfee will be addressing that, in front of the entire WWE universe. So that's going to be very interesting. But we also found out that Gunther wanted to take some time off away from WWE. Now, I don't know if he's going to plan to start a family with his wife or what the hell's going on, but that is the case. Ilya Dragunov, obviously, he's been out with an injury for quite some time. There's Ivar. There's JD McDonough, Joaquin Wilde, Julius Creed, Karrion Kross, Kofi Kingston, Logan Paul, Ludwig Kaiser, Otis, Penta, Pete Dunne, Rey Mysterio. There's the returning Rusev, which we hadn't seen Rusev in WWE in 5 years. 5 years. Last time we saw him was right before. It was right before the pandemic and right after WrestleMania. During the pandemic, that was when WWE had that long list of talent, producers, cameramen, and referees that got released because of COVID. And it's weird. It's weird because that's about a little over 4 dozen people. Think about that. A little over 4 dozen people. That got released, and then during WrestleMania 30, and then during the weekend of WrestleMania 37, several others got released. In fact, I think about another dozen or two got released, including I think I know that Bray Wyatt was one that got released. Braun Strowman did Braun Strowman get released? No, Braun Strowman didn't get released until I want to say sometime in the middle of 2021 was when he got released. So about a month or two after WrestleMania. But yeah, again, Rusev coming back and that is incredible. Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Sheamus, Tyler Bate, Xavier Woods. You've got a long list of talent. On Raw that could challenge main event Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight title. But the question is, who could step up, right? Who could be the top 4 that we could see step up to the plate? So going based on the performances that we saw at WrestleMania, top 4 that come into mind. First up is obviously AJ Styles. The reason why is because I feel like even in spite of his loss at WrestleMania to Logan Paul, I think it's a, how can I explain it? It's pretty obvious that AJ Styles doesn't have a whole lot of years left wrestling. So I feel like if there was one championship that we the fans would want to see him go after, it's obviously the world heavyweight title. He's been Intercontinental Champion before. He's been Tag Team Champion, but he's never held the world heavyweight title not even once in his career. And I feel like now would be the perfect time for AJ Styles to go after Jay and the World Heavyweight title. So definitely Jay is one on my list. Or sorry, Styles is definitely one. Um, second one that comes into mind, as crazy as this sounds, and I'm probably gonna get some heat for this, but I feel like it's Finn Balor. And the reason why I say Finn Balor is because of two things. One is the fact that his reign as being the inaugural Universal Champion really it really didn't last long. You know, obviously we know that it only lasted like 24 hours, and he had to give it up due to his pectoral muscle, and of course his shoulder being ripped completely off the bone, and he was out for several months. In fact, I think he was out for almost a year, for like what, 9 months if I remember right. I think for like 8, maybe 9 months he was out, and even though he was chasing after the Intercontinental title for the last couple of months, especially during the European tour that that they did weeks before WrestleMania. I feel like I feel like at this point in Finn's career, because that we don't really know how much more time he has left competing in WWE or even in wrestling in general, what better way to cap off a potential Hall of Fame career than by going after the World Heavyweight title? The same as AJ Styles. I mean, AJ has won more championships in WWE than Finn Balor has. And think about this: Finn Balor is a 2-time NXT champion. He's a 2-time Intercontinental champion, first ever Universal champion, a 2-time tag team champion, and a former United States champion. So let's see: two NXT, a Universal, two Intercontinental titles, the U.S. title, and then 2 tag titles. That's 8 titles. That's 8 championships that Finn Balor has held. Where, as opposed to AJ Styles, 2-time WWE champion, 3-time U.S. champion, Intercontinental champion, tag team champion. I mean, if you really think, yes, and then not only that, not only that, but AJ Styles has even won more championships outside of WWE. So if you were to combine the championships between AJ Styles and Finn Balor, I mean the difference is night and day. I mean they're both pretty parallels if you really think about it. Third person that comes into mind, and this is one that I'm definitely gonna get a lot of heat for, is Logan Paul. As crazy as it sounds, but the performance that he put on at WrestleMania against AJ Styles was absolutely incredible. The crazy thing is, even in spite of Karrion Kross getting involved, even in spite of that piss ass goon of his, Jeff, showing up for no reason whatsoever, Logan Paul has proved that even without brass knucks, even without his entourage backing him up, even without the outside interference, Logan Paul can go. He can work. He can win matches on his own, and I feel like because that he's been in WWE for a few years now. Yeah, 3 years. He's been with WWE for 3 years. He's had four incredible WrestleMania matches, including against guys like Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, and now obviously now last week AJ Styles, Logan Paul, he could potentially be next in line for that title shot. And I mean, with what he said on social media, just yesterday, over the weekend, he admitted he's got a big announcement. So we are expecting to see him tonight on Raw. So there's no telling what he could do. What he'll say. Maybe he might say he'll go after the world title. Maybe he could go after the Intercontinental Championship, which is very possible. And then the last person that comes into mind, and this is actually kind of a crazy one, but it has to be Seth Rollins. I feel like with Seth's victory at WrestleMania, it proves that Seth Rollins, has always had a plan from the very beginning. And the fact that he never truly got his proper one-on-one rematch for the World Heavyweight title is a bit of an act of injustice in a way. But if you think about it, you look at what happened at Money in the Bank last year. He got his one-on-one rematch, but because of Drew McIntyre cashing in Money in the Bank, Seth ended up becoming collateral damage, and obviously Punk apologized for it, and Priest was like, you know what, fuck that, fuck that, fuck the rules. You want a rematch? You let me know when. Which proved that the respect was there. And I think this proves that Seth Rollins is truly everything that he says he is. An architect, a Kingslayer, a Beast Slayer, a Monster Slayer, a Messiah, a Visionary, a Revolution. All these monikers that he has gained over the years, he has proven time and time again why he is those monikers. And it's weird because after what happened last week on the Raw after WrestleMania, we don't really know if Seth and Breakker are baby faces. We don't know if they're heels. We don't know what the situation is, but we do know that they will show up tonight on Raw to explain their actions. So we'll find out. We'll find out tonight on Raw. It'll be very interesting. But as far as like these four go, I mean Rollins, Logan Paul, Finn Balor, AJ Styles. I mean all four of them are incredibly gifted. All are former United States champions. All are all have competed at WrestleMania. If it came down to one person that would have to be eliminated from this batch, I would have to say Finn Balor, and I think the reason being, it has a lot to do with the fact that Finn Balor has been more asphyxiated on winning the Intercontinental Championship. I have no doubt in my mind that Finn Balor is going to be the catalyst that breaks up the Judgment Day. I think that could potentially be the case. In which case we would see Finn Balor as a heel, JD McDonough as a heel, Carlito potentially as a babyface, maybe a heel. I think it just depends on his perspective. Dirty Dom and the women's tag team champions, all three of those superstars definitely going to be babyfaces, because I don't think you guys have heard the fans. Every time Liv Morgan's music hits, you know that there are quite a few fans that will cheer for Liv Morgan because of how good she has gotten in the ring. So I could totally see Dom and Dom and the tag team champions becoming baby faces as Finn Balor breaks up the Judgment Day by attacking Dirty Dom, wanting to become Intercontinental Champion. So Finn Balor completely out of the question. So if it came down, it now comes down to Styles, Seth, and Logan Paul. And as crazy as it sounds, we don't really know what Seth's motives are going to be moving forward. We know that he wants the world heavyweight championship back. We know he wants the title back, but we don't know if if that's going to be the case, or if he and Breaker are going to go after the world tag team titles. Again, we will have to find out tonight on Raw. So unfortunately, Seth out of the picture. And if it came down to AJ Styles and Logan Paul, it has to be Logan Paul. I think with his potential announcement, there's no telling. There's really no telling what Logan Paul has planned. For all we know, Logan Paul could potentially chase after the Intercontinental Championship. He could chase after the World Heavyweight title. The possibilities are out there, but in my opinion, definitely has to be Logan Paul. I think just because of the fact that he's become more hungrier than he's ever been, and he even admitted that he's going to be doing this full time, meaning that we're going to be seeing a lot more of him on Raw compared to how many times we saw him over the last few years or so. So the way I see it, if it's not Logan Paul, there's really no telling who else could step up and take the challenge. Anything is possible. We will have to wait and see tonight on Raw. But with that being said, that'll do it for this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.